we've got a record amount of rental inventory on the market. They're still building luxury apartments. They are going to dump potentially thousands of them on the market in the next 3 months. Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to take a look at a new construction development here over by me in Charlotte County. It's called Westport. Going to take a walk through here, kind of show you what's being built. No worries, it's hands-free here. Got a cameraman today, so I'm not driving and casting. And yeah, just kind of give my opinion on some of the issues I'm seeing here. They're running into some snags on these new builds. I mean, I think the pricing on them is a little crazy, and they've got a long way to go. The end plan is going to be 3,000 homes here, which from what I understand is going to probably take about 5 more years. But they're also building a lot of rental apartments here, which I'm going to show you as well. And that kind of contributes to the rental situation that I've mentioned before. I don't have the exact numbers here, but just from what I'll show you, you can kind of understand that it's going to be, quite a bit of rental inventory coming on the market here as well, at insane prices as to be expected. So with no further ado, we'll start checking them out. So I'll start with their rental inventory because it's the thing I'm closest to right now. This is going to be one of their first projects opening up. You can see that's going to probably be the sales and leasing center and the clubhouse. They're going 3 stories high, and I believe these are going to probably be open sometime in the fall. This is going to be the section closest to 41. These are 3-story walk-ups, so this is really being pitched as sort of a millennial hangout spot kind of thing. It's not really for retirees. If you go on the website, you can see that a lot of dogs and a lot of younger people having drinks by the fire pits. So, but this is just one of their complexes they have here. They have several that I will show to you, and you can kind of see where they're at in construction right now. So now I've swung around here, guys. We're on the back end of that development. So they do have a nice little retention pond here. Pretty nice setup going on in the development overall. But you can kind of get a shot of how many of these apartments that they are building. And then directly next door, they have another complex going up. You see that with the green buildings. I believe these are 2 separate locations because it looks like they're building 2 separate leasing offices, but I will spin you around and get you a shot of that as well. These are also going to be 3 stories. You can kind of see the gap in there. Again, this may be the same complex, I'm not sure. Online, they do have 3 different ones listed in here. And as far as drive-ins go, doesn't look like a bad place to live. And just heading around the back of that other complex here real quick, as I'm sure you guys know, these are going to be luxury apartments. The prices of these for a 2-bedroom are up in the $2,300 range a month. 3 bedrooms are even higher. That's before you start adding on, water fees and trash fees. And even though these things are not finished, they are already trying to lease them. I'm going to take you past the other side, the other leasing office here. I suspect this is going to be about 300 to 600 apartments, only adding to the inventory problem that we have here in Charlotte County. Every day the rentals go up, the prices are coming down. This particular location is actually offering $1,000 off your first month's rent as an incentive to sign up before construction is completed. So that's where the rental market's going. We've discussed this. I don't know how many of these are going to fill up how quickly. This looks like this is probably going to be their leasing office here. So I'll hit you. I'll spin you around. As you can see, they're trying to lease, and you can't really even come on the grounds yet. So, and we still have 1 more of these to cover in this new build area as well. Now, as I head to the last spot, everybody I'm sure is aware that there is a brewing problem in commercial real estate. It's starting to highlight the issues with multifamily, and this is what I'm worried about and what you're seeing here. We have all this multifamily luxury building going on. There's really not a demand for it here in Charlotte County, and I suspect a lot of other places at these prices. And I think that this could be an enormous catalyst to cause the next real estate crisis, aside from the other commercial real estate concerns that everybody has as well.
So this is their last phase of rentals, guys. I showed these at the beginning of the video. These are 3-bed, 2.5 bath, 1-car garage townhomes. These are starting at about $2,100 a month. So as you know, I mentioned the apartments are up in the 25s. I don't really know what they're doing, if they're competing with themselves. They're two separate companies, but they're building quite a few of these as well. And if you've looked around Charlotte County, what you can get for $2,000 elsewhere, you'd probably be better served coming here. I think they're looking to undercut the market, and we'll see how that affects prices across the county.
So obviously you guys know my concerns about the rental situation in Charlotte County. You can see my video, a couple videos back, that I think it's about to melt down. But now on to the new construction. So let's take a spin around and take a look at what they're building. Most of these houses are starting in the high threes, low fours, some in the fives. And with mortgage rates where they are, even if you were to put 20, 30% down, after you factor in their HOA, the insurance here that's gone up, the CDD fees, and for those who don't know what that is, it's a community development fee that basically you need to pay back the developer for the cost of, putting in the roads and things like that. It's usually on your tax bill for 20 to 30 years. Some are shorter. Some of them in here range from $1,400 extra on your taxes to all the way up to $2,800 extra on your taxes. So it can impact your payment substantially. And, at the end of the day, if you're trying to mortgage in here, you're looking at possibly $3,000 a month just to get started, which isn't really going to work for a lot of people right now. So before you even get into principal and interest, you could be looking at $13,000 a year just to get in here. And coming from New York or New Jersey, maybe California, that's not a big deal. That's not really affordable Florida living in the traditional sense. So the other added benefit is, what do you get for all these HOA and CDD fees? Well, you get the Community Recreation Center. That's correct. This is Centennial Park. Let me spin this around for you. This was built by Charlotte County. It is owned by Charlotte County. It's a great rec center, very nice area, but it's not an HOA. This is the pool you get. So you're basically paying all this to have access to public amenities anyway, which I think is a little crazy. There is one location in here, the Cove, that has their own HOA and their own pool, own clubhouse, but for the most part, anywhere you're buying in here, you're going to be using Charlotte County's public facilities. And this is across the street. This is the other section of Centennial Park. So you have baseball fields, ultimate frisbee, things like that. Nice place to walk, and it's definitely cool to have these amenities, close by. But generally, when people buy in homeowners associations, they do it so they don't have to share these with the public, or they can be segregated from that. There are no gates in here. Again, I think one community may have gates, but it's basically access to all public amenities. You get a shot of this guy just hanging out, enjoying the day. Now, I'd also like to add that these builders in the winter had slashed their prices aggressively. They were offering awesome rate buy downs. That's kind of gone right now. I think they realized they overcorrected a little bit. I've seen them bump their prices basically 10%, some of them, from what they were a few months ago. And we know that the, lumber supply and the cost of building materials has come down. Yes, labor is still sky high, but I think they've realized, what I've been saying is, especially in this area, Southwest Florida, you'd kind of be crazy not to buy a new build if you could, just due to the pricing on existing home sales. I thought this was a gator sign, but caution, flying disc area. And there it is. Disc golf, frisbee golf, whatever you want to call it. Kind of a hard course to tackle. You're basically thrown out of the woods, so you got to have some good angles. But surprise, no pickleball court here. No pickleball court here yet. And now I'll get to the crux of my big concern with all this new construction. As I've mentioned previously to you guys, you can see in my other videos, a lot of Florida got rezoned for their flood designations back in December. Most of these houses that they're building were contracted a year, maybe 2 years ago, with the way things were going. So you have a lot of people that are coming to the closing table now and being told, one, if they have a mortgage, we're going to require flood insurance, and it's going to be astronomical. And that's going to change if they can even close or not, depending on what price they contracted it on, what sort of escalation clauses. Same thing cash. I mean, if you come cash and they tell you, hey, you're in a flood zone now, nothing you can do about it, may change if you're going to close on the house at all, depending on what you put down. So that is a really concerning scenario I see here. Most of this entire development was rezoned recently. So people who bought prior to December may have no idea that now they need flood insurance on their new house. And that might push a lot of them with mortgages out of the realm of affordability, especially with the rates having gone up. Now, just like local homeowners, these developers and the entire community does have the ability to appeal the flood decision with a letter of determination review, as I've gone over in other videos. I'll again put the flood link down in there for anyone who's interested to see if your house flood zone has changed and kind of give you some direction on how to appeal that if you can. But you know, these are built at the elevations they're built at. They can't really change them. So if they didn't plan for that, it's going to be a huge headache going forward. And some of you may say, well, my house is not in a flood zone. What does it matter if my neighbor's is? Well, in a homeowners association and a development like this, the entire association is going to be required to carry flood insurance, or no one's going to be able to get mortgaged in here. And what that's going to do is jack up your already high HOA, potentially doubling it, maybe even tripling it over the years with what we've seen down here happen in the condo market and other HOAs. So this is stuff to look out for. I don't know. You can't really plan for it, and I don't think anyone has. I know this is a 5-year project, but I'm interested to see how it goes over the next couple of months. So that's where we're at, guys. We've got a record amount of rental inventory on the market. They're still building luxury apartments. They are going to dump potentially thousands of them on the market in the next 3 months, which I think is just going to submarine any small landlords, any people who are investing on Airbnbs. I just think everything is going to really start to take a turn once those hit the market around here. And they're almost done, some of them, and there's plenty more planned. On top of that, we have housing inventory growing and growing and growing each month. While people tell you supply is short, it is short. We are listing less houses each month. We are selling less houses each month. We are accumulating more and more inventory because people aren't buying them. Now you add in all of Florida's insurance woes, like farmers just leaving the state, they're dropping people. You know, it's being reported that they're not renewing, but they're actually dropping people. So it's putting a lot of people in a really bad situation, because if your insurer drops you, your mortgage lender is going to go find you some insurance. They're not going to care what it costs. And then they're going to slam you with that escrow difference, which could be hundreds of dollars a month. And if you don't pay it, you could potentially be foreclosed on. So not only are we facing these insurance issues here, I mean, the flood problem. How many of these people who signed contracts a year ago don't know that now they're in a flood zone, and their insurance, on top of the regular rate changes we've seen just for regular insurance, how many of them don't know that they're going to be slapped with thousands of dollars of flood insurance once they close? Well, thank you guys for taking a tour around Westport with me today. I think I'm going to wrap it up because the heat index is about 105 out here. So not really sure why I got sleeves on. It's getting pretty hot. Again, not to be like doom and gloom, but this is the reality of the situation here that I don't think a lot of people are factoring in, looking in the area, selling in the area. So this is just where we're at. Where it goes from here, again, very hard to tell. Changes every single month. Things are so volatile right now in the real estate market, especially down here and other areas of the country. So I'll just keep you guys posted. We'll keep at it. And if you guys enjoyed this video, found any of this content valuable, I would always appreciate it if you can give me a like, a subscribe, hit the bell notification to get notified when I put out new videos, and I'll see you next time.